Good morning. I hope you are doing very well and that you and your family are enjoying our springtime so far. I wanted to share a quick Q1 real estate market update for what we've been seeing in the Spokane housing market so far this year. If you've been watching headlines lately, you might be a little confused on what exactly is going on. It's been another crazy year, especially going into the springtime. Spring last year, we saw all the talk of tariffs start really in like early April. So interest rates were looking pretty good at the beginning of last year, and then with all the uncertainty of tariffs in April, we saw interest rates jump higher into like the mid to higher 6% range. Well, this year is kind of going the same way. About 6 or 7 weeks ago, interest rates were at the lowest point that we'd seen them in the last 3 years. They're right about the 5.9 to 6% range. But then with all of this Iran conflict going on, in the last 3 to 4 weeks, interest rates have jumped back up to the 6.4 to 6.5% range, and they've been holding very steady there, but we will see how that increase and some of that uncertainty affects our spring market coming in to Q2. But in regards to Q1 this year, January actually saw a 4.5% median price increase year over year from January of last year. However, February and March both saw between a 0.5 and 1.5% median price decrease. So things are slowing down a little bit, but overall holding steady. For the quarter as a whole, we were at a 1.2% median price increase. So it's expected that we'll probably see between a 0 to maybe 2% median price increase for the year as a whole, which is pretty much what we've seen the last few years. Prices have really not been increasing, but they have been holding steady. One of the big changes we are seeing this quarter is the amount of inventory. So Q1 for this year compared to Q1 of last year, inventory is actually up by around 26%, which is a pretty big increase. But at the same time, average sales are up by about 4.4%. So we are seeing more sales in the market, but we are also seeing much more inventory as compared to last year. Now, historically, we still have a big lack of inventory. We are only at a 2.4 month supply of inventory, which that is a measure of how quickly it would take all of the current listings on the market on average to sell, and we're at about 2.4 months supply. And historically, anything below about a 6-month supply is considered a seller's market. Anything above about a 6-month supply is considered a buyer's market, which in Idaho, we are seeing much more around like the 5 to 7 month supply, depending on which town and which county you're in. But Spokane, we're at a 2.4 month supply. So we still have quite a lack of inventory in general. So I've been working with a lot of buyers lately, and we just cannot find anything on the market that fits their criteria. So I think we do need some more inventory out there. I'm curious to see how that will really affect prices throughout the year, but I don't see any huge changes. If we can get interest rates to stay around the 6 to 6.2% range, I think that's really going to help buyer sentiment. I think the most important thing is just if interest rates can stay stable and not do this, jumping up and down every month or so, I think that would give people some confidence. Hopefully we can get things sorted out politically and economically, and we'll be seeing a good rest of this year. If there's ever anything I can do to help out, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to be a resource. Take care. God bless.